Well, I usually leave these things to the end of my interviews, but I really got to say, rest in peace, Aaron Carter. Yeah. You actually called me the other day to break the news to me. Mm-hmm. And this is someone that we both interviewed multiple times. I was shocked. How did you feel when you heard the news?
Yeah, I was definitely shocked. But at the same time, I mean, I had interviewed him, I think maybe like a week and a half before he passed. I'm not sure. But it came out 3 days before he passed.
Huh.
And when he came in that time, he definitely was not in a great mental state. Like, I remember you saying that you hadn't interviewed him for like over a year before he passed. It was the same thing with me, where I was kind of interviewing him regularly, and then I didn't do it for a period of, I don't know, a year or two. And then I decided, like, okay, he hit me up. I'm like, let's do it. I want to see how you're doing. Check in. Came in to do the interview. It wasn't great. You know, he was drinking lean. And
he was drinking lean in the interview?
I mean, he tried to deny it, but it was like super purple. He's got a double cup. I don't know what else it would have been. But, you know, he's just kind of like slurring his speech. And, you know, I heard that him and his girl broke up again like 2 days after we did the interview, because she was there, like posted up, like, and I guess they had been through this dramatic breakup. And some of the stuff that I was talking to him about was super depressing, like him having his kid taken away by the state or whatever. And, you know, at one point I'm trying to like tell him, like, you got to get your kid back, dude. Like, you can't be thinking about anything else. You got to just be focused on how to get your kid back. And then I start to think, not a good idea, right? Like, he doesn't really seem like he's in a state where he'd be able to
wait, I don't
take care
understand,
of a kid.
Wait, but his girl was there with him.
Yeah.
So how did he get his kid taken away if he's with his girl still?
Well, I guess the kid got taken away from both of them. And went to live with her grandma.
Oh.
Which, you know, and I don't know if his girl has issues or if it was 100% him causing the issues. But I guess it's like, I mean, he tried to blame it on the fans, like reporting abuse or like reporting him, saying that he's on drugs, saying all this, yada, yada. But they did get in a big fight at one point. And then I don't know exactly what happened after that, but it's like, you know, I was trying to like urge him to like really focus on getting his kid back. I can't imagine that if I was in his position, I'd be thinking about anything else. But, you know, he was really in the middle of his addiction and everything. And one thing I thought was interesting that's kind of gone unnoticed is that in that interview, he fully apologizes to his brother Nick, and said, because he had said many times that Nick was a rapist and Nick had done all this terrible shit to all these people and yada yada. And in the interview, he basically acknowledges, oh, I was taking somebody else's word for that. I don't actually believe that that's true, which I found really interesting. I'm like, so you were smearing him for all these years just because you believed one random person? I don't know. But then there was a clip that came out last night of Backstreet Boys' performance where his brother actually like broke down crying, talking about losing him and everything. And it's kind of crazy to see that, you know, where I'm sure Nick to a certain extent had felt sort of, you know, plagued by his brother and traumatized by having his brother like really trying to smear his career for all these years, saying all this terrible shit about him, and then to see him go before they were able to ever really reconcile. But I mean, Aaron, in my interview, was saying that he would like to reconcile with his brother, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, that is probably a ways away until you know, there's gonna have to be some space between you having made all these accusations about him and him being able to accept you, you know. But yeah, it's just a super sad.
When 50 Cent releases a documentary about hidden events, it stops being about rumors. It becomes about why the truth was kept quiet for so long. By looking at Aaron Carter's rise and downfall and comparing it with the power around Diddy, the film asks a serious question. Not what people knew, but who chose to do nothing. When names like Justin Bieber appear in similar timelines, the documentary shows a bigger pattern. An industry where silence protected powerful people for years. If the truth was always there, why did it take so long for anyone to put the pieces together?
As one of the biggest child stars to ever grace the music industry, Carter was tipped to do great things and have a long, successful career, but as bright as his star burned, it faded just as fast. Fame at such a young age can take its toll, but there was so much more that contributed to the downfall of Aaron's career. Several insider sources have suggested that Aaron may have been a victim of manipulation and the toxic culture.
When 50 Cent makes his documentary about what was hidden, he is not bringing back gossip. He is looking again at timelines. The film treats silence as proof and asks why some stories stopped moving while powerful people grew stronger around them.
Aaron, how you holding up?
I'm doing good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah, staying strong.
it's been 8 months of a lot of turmoil and back and forth. But at this point, I think that I've got it under control. I'm doing everything that I need to do, and just focusing on my music, which is what I love. It's my passion, and really just taking care of my aftercare, and
which consists of what? The care. You're doing what you have to do. So what does that mean to you?
Basically, a lot of people in the news, there's hundreds of posts from media, and they all said, that I'm 165 pounds, and when I checked into rehab last time, I was 117. Same weight that Michael Jackson died at, actually. And
117 pounds.
Yeah. I got my weight up, and I kept it the whole time. I've managed to turn my life around, be able to purchase houses, flip houses, be a real estate mogul, do touring after all the...
So you're buying and flipping houses, huh?
Yeah.
And I see that this one is
for sale right now.
This one's up for sale.
Yeah, so Christy Limpis is my she's like my big sister. But she's my real estate agent. She got me to my first house, which is only like about a mile away from here.
Yeah.
And then flipped that one from 420 to 620, got $200,000 profit. We did.
In revisiting the rise and collapse of child fame, the film introduces Aaron Carter not as a headline, but as a case study in exposure without protection. If silence is not neutral, who benefited from it remaining intact for so long?
There's a lot of other stuff that's going on with that. They look at the They look at the stuff. They look at this right here, bro. First and foremost, all the companies that you have, you understand, and I know some people have trust and have companies in their kid's name. This man never put anything in his name. Why? It's either his mother, his son, his kid's name and everything like that. He had 18 companies that was giving him some kind of revenue. Why is nothing really in his name? Is there some kind of tax evasion? They looking at that. You understand? You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter, dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now. Change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher.
Aaron Carter became famous before he was old enough to protect himself in an industry that profits from young talent but avoids responsibility. The documentary shows that his early success came with growing risks, where what seems like opportunity can turn into dependence. Socially, it's clear, when a child's worth is measured by what they produce, warning signs are treated as pressure to perform, not danger. When does chasing success become more important than keeping a child safe?
Do
you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all this stuff my whole life. That was...
The film looks at who was closest to the decision makers and who controlled access. Diddy isn't presented as guilty, but as a constant figure in stories of mentorship, parties, and influence. The documentary doesn't blame anyone directly. It shows how power often works through informal connections, not official rules. If responsibility exists in these in-between spaces, how can institutions figure out who is accountable?
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes.
Real life. It ain't real life. That thing just real life street star. You know what time it is.
Oh no, it's all good. But Uncle Ron, Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who threatened to expose them. Yeah, threatened to expose them. I believe in 2023. Is deceased. He's passed away.
Allegedly, that's what they are saying.
Allegedly, that is what they are saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes and then it's a lot of people been getting that pneumonia. I'm surprised they didn't try to say that Liam.
One of the most striking parts of the documentary is seeing Aaron Carter openly and repeatedly ask for help. These moments aren't shown as breakdowns, but as evidence of his fear, loneliness, and a clear sense that danger was near.
Got that pneumonia, but you know, he went over that balcony. But the thing is, they say he went on his own. But there's two other things that I considered as I speculate. This is all my speculation. None of this is true yet. But what if somebody told him he had to jump off?
Man.
What if he would have rather jumped and be pow-pow?
Right.
You know? Or maybe imminent danger was there. And
it's
that
alleged
was
that
only escape.
Right. It's alleged that he had Tootsie.
No, that's not alleged. That is a fact. There, Rook. It was found in his system in his autopsy. That's not alleged.
That's crazy.
Did the Tootsie? Yep.
Jack, Liam Payne, his fall. There's a lot of alleged things they're saying that happened.
At multiple levels, his fall.
There's a lot of speculations.
Personal life.
Right.
Health.
What is his ties to Diddy?
I mean, all of those kids from that era, even the British bands, they all partied with Diddy. I'm just... It's hard for me
The responsibility is shared. People watched, platforms spread it, but no one stepped in to help. When millions can see someone in trouble, who is really supposed to act?
To truly get invested in what's happening to Liam Payne right now, because I haven't gotten over what happened to Nick. Nick's brother, Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for security. He made it very clear Sony was out to get him, just like Michael Jackson told him they would be. And right around that time, his brother had just been accused of raping one of the girls from making the band, Diddy's entity. And they were trying to make all of that go away. And Aaron called his brother out. And then the next thing you know, he said, if anything happens to me, I did not do this to myself. And then he was gone, and they said he took his own life, just like they're saying about Liam Payne. Why doesn't anyone want to see the same thing happening over and over and over again? Because if Diddy is responsible for Liam Payne, then he is without a doubt responsible for Aaron Carter.
Shout out real street stars, nigga. Move.
By looking at the bigger picture, 50 Cent's documentary shows how individual stories fit into a culture that lets minors exist in adult spaces. It points out that other young stars went through similar paths of power, where rules and boundaries were expected but not actually enforced.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, is she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, conditioned for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as...
This is where Justin Bieber is mentioned, not to blame him, but to show a pattern in the industry for young talent. If the same thing happens across generations, can it really be called a coincidence?
Footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put the stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
So they're saying it's his lawyers. How on earth did 50 Cent get a hold of footage of his lawyers? Now, one could say, isn't that privilege? How is this footage allowed? Now, you could also argue because someone's filming, there's other people there, you lose privilege. I've learned that in my appeals case. I have not filmed any of my legal meetings on purpose, because if you film it, well, then it gives up your privilege in a way. So I'm assuming that's how they're getting away with this, because he's filming conversations with his lawyers, whether they knew or not. That footage, now that it's gotten in the wrong hands, or I guess different hands, isn't a longer privilege. I want to get a lawyer on it to sort of confirm it, but I got to be honest, I'm kind of shocked. You'd think, well, this should all be included, should it not?
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said, let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is
like the way he's bossed around these high-powered lawyers is so revealing.
Part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Oh, he's loving this.
Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
We knew that was coming, by the way, because we learned that throughout, as he was using his own kids to post birthday messages and etc. Like, this guy wants to control everything.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
He's like, oh yeah, look at all these. This was yeah, what's up? We shake your hands. Yeah, we take this. He thrives in this. This is, yeah, when people recognize him, he seems, what up? Like, barely anybody there. He's like, yeah, everybody's here looking at me. He's like the quarterback that can never graduate, it feels like to me.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
I've been in the streets amongst people. I gotta take a bath. He's like horrified. He's disgusted by it.
Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do.
The documentary shows that silence is kept in place by loyalty, fear, and worry about reputation. Many adults around young artists seem to know enough to help but stayed quiet. This creates a shared kind of guilt. No one is fully responsible, yet harm continues. When everyone knows a little and does nothing, who is really to blame?
$15,000, you know what I'm saying? You can sit here and tell me that you're going to pay me for my time sitting right down here with y'all. You understand? So then, you know, one thing led to another, and I was like, yeah, all right, well then, you know, F you, I spoke to 50, and then she said 50, and this is exact words that came out her mouth. 50 does not determine what goes in and goes out of this documentary. And he definitely don't pay, he determine what somebody get paid. It's not his documentary like that. I was like, oh, so if it's not his documentary and I spoke to him like that, I don't need to be doing nothing with you, because I'm doing this on the strength of him. But you gonna pay me if I do it. So it went back and forth, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit, and then they had Kirk Burrows giving me calls and everything like that. What are you calling me for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not, get out of here. I know what kind of dude you is anyway. Me and you cool and everything, Kirk, but don't call me about no business with this stuff like that. And then what I found out is that he was making a deal, cutting a deal for himself as well as Tim. You understand? And I was trying to get a deal for all three of us. You understand? So that's how them industry cats go. You know, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like this. So then he called me back again, and I told him, like, listen, man, don't you ever call my phone again, Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Because we had got into it about somebody calling him. He told me Groovy Lou called him and wanted to know why Gene's still doing this to Puff and everything like that. And I mentioned it on the Gene Deal show. You understand? I said something. Then he called me back like I was lying. And listen to me, Kirk. Don't call me about what these clowns and these niggas say right here, bro. And especially don't call me talking about what I gotta fix.
when in fact you know what you told me and you know what our conversation was. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing about why I'm not in the thing, the lady was talking greasy to me. She had no right to talk greasy to me. And then she told me that 50 didn't have the power to do anything, but they using his name to like push the whole documentary. And that's what it was about. So that's why you don't see a cameo other than the pictures they used of me on the film in the documentary. I got like 3 or 4 pictures in the documentary that I've seen of myself. You know, some people say they saw more, but I know three different times where I was certain places and you could actually see me in the documentary, and that's the only thing you're gonna get. But the stories that they told in the documentary, bruh, come on. They could have went a whole lot deeper. They could have did a whole lot more. So I ain't in the documentary because that lady that was the director, I think, what's her name? Alex, Alex State,
Clip 11. A key change happens when guesses turn into formal process. Lawyers, legal filings, and careful review take over from opinions, and the tone becomes serious without being dramatic. The film shows restraint, no names are shouted, and evidence is carefully considered. Legally, this matters because it separates public suspicion from real consequences. If truth needs proper structure to be accepted, why was that structure missing for so long? Clip 12. The documentary shows why so few people spoke up. Talking risked their careers, while staying silent kept them safe. 50 Cent stands out as someone willing to face criticism to push for answers, not because he knows everything, but because he challenges the delays.